Well, good morning. It is Sunday morning, and this is my Simple Sunday episode. I'm Sherry with Creating Cards with Sherry. I'm so glad that you decided to join me today. I'm going to do something a little different than what I normally do, and that is I'm just going to chit-chat with you for a few minutes on some things that I think will be really helpful for you. Okay, and if there's anything that I've said or shown you that you are interested in, you can go to my store at creatingcardswithsherry.stampinup.net. You can place an order there. If you have any questions, you can go to creatingcards@outlook.com. Or if you just want to find out what I've been up to, go to creatingcardswithsherry.blogspot.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Just look for Creating Cards with Sherry and you will find me there. One of the things that I find when I talk to people is they will say, "Oh, your cards are so beautiful and you do such a great job. I could never do that. I am not an artist. And I'm not creative. I can't combine colors together. I can't draw, much less find the colors to use to color with." And they go on, and I feel very not confident of what can be done. Well, I'm here to tell you that I am not an artist myself. And the creativity comes from looking at other demonstrators' work and going, "Oh, I like that idea," and I will either copy it or case it, as we call it, or I will be inspired to try something different with that. So I'm going to show you what Stampin' Up! Does to provide for you a way to, they just make it so easy for you. All right? And I'm going to start by telling you a story. There was a bride that I was working with, and I was starting to help plan her wedding and so forth, and we got to talking about invitations, and she said, "Oh, I would love it if you could do my invitations. Meet me at the craft store." So I said, "Okay." So I met her at the local craft store, and she started out by telling me that she wanted something in gold, or it was more of a champagne, but that's what she wanted. And then she said, "And I want it, I don't want white paper, I want off-white paper, or the ivory kind of color." And so I went, "Okay, we can do that." And I said, "Do you want the print to be in any specific color?" And she said, "No, just make it black." And I said, "Okay." So I was pretty pleased with what we had accomplished thus far. And then all of a sudden she said, "I want to add another color that I have in the wedding." I said, "All right, do you have your swatches with you so that we can match all these colors?" "No, I don't have any swatches." I kid you not, we were in the store for 2 to 3 hours just looking for things that coordinated together. She wanted a pink, and it wasn't just a pink, it was a bright pink. And she also wanted to add some purple. So we had to find something in purple. And it took us forever to find the right shades. And then, do we want it in ribbon? Do we want it as part of the invitation? Did we want it in the print? Did we want, were we going to add an image to these invitations that would bring in the pink and that kind of thing? What were we going to do? And it took us a very long time to make those decisions. And there were many times, not just with her situation, but there were many times that I would walk into the nearest local craft store with some paper in my hands going, "Okay, this is my card base. Now I got to find something that's going to match with it." And I would look at embellishments, and I would look at ribbon, and I would look at all sorts of things to match the shades and get it all together. And I could spend an hour or two at the craft store. In fact, when I would tell my husband I want to go to the craft store, he'd drop me off and say, "I'll see you in an hour." It was that crazy. So anyway, Stampin' Up! Makes it so easy. And I'm going to give you just an example. This is our balmy blue paper. And if you dig into it, you will find that we have the balmy blue ink pad. Our blender pens also have our balmy blue. We have balmy blue blender pens. One's a light shade and a darker shade. We also have the balmy blue in our watercolor pencils. The embellishments are not called balmy blue, but they are different shades of the blue that would go with a balmy blue. And we don't have a balmy blue ribbon, but we do have our misty moonlight blue that matches perfectly with it. Now, you might be looking at this going, Sherry, I'm not going to do a whole card in balmy blue. Well, I understand that. But I want you to see how everything coordinates so that when you start to put your card together, you can intertwine all these different things. A lot of my cards, when I put them together, I'll use the designer series paper that will come with it, and then the ink that I use might be in the designer series paper. It might match that, or my ribbon might match part of that sort of thing. I just find the right color that's going to go with it, and I know I'm going to find it because Stampin' Up! Provides it in every way possible. The other thing that Stampin' Up! Does that I lived with this for the longest time when I first started, because it was the only way I could picture things and see it. So I had to, and I still go to this when I need to. Stampin' Up! Provides color palettes. So you choose your base card and you go with the colors that coordinate with that. So because I picked out the balmy blue, we're just going to go with that. And these are the different coordinating shades that you can have with it. I'm going to start with the bottom one here. It's a balmy blue, the poppy parade, and the crushed curry. And those three can make a really nice spring card. They really look good together. And then another combination that we had was the balmy blue, the gorgeous grape, and the Merry Merlot, and that makes another really nice card. And then the last one, the balmy blue, the night of navy, and the granny apple green. And this one's my favorite. I like this combination a lot. And you know, even though the balmy blue was the one that I was going off of, I would probably use this as my base because it's the darkest one, and I would combine all these colors in a different way. So it just, you know, you can look at the combination that is there and decide what you want to do, and it falls together very easily and very simple. And so Stampin' Up! Makes it so easy for you. There are three things you need to start. You need a stamp, you need a stamp block, and you need some ink. And then you just need some paper to go with it to decide how, you know, to put your card together. And it's that simple. So if you have any questions or you want to dig into this further, please contact me at creatingcards@outlook.com, and I will be glad to answer your questions. Now, I just want to share with you real quick what we're going to be doing in the future. The rest of January, we're going to be focusing more on some Valentine cards. And then come February and March, I am going to focus on scenery cards. Some of you saw in the past I had made my sunrise sunset cards, and I used this stamp set called In the Moment, and we'll be looking at those again, and I'll show you how I made those. Then I bought the On the Horizon stamp set, which will make some beautiful, this came in a bundle. There was designer series paper and a die set that came with this, and you aren't gonna believe how gorgeous they were. I'm still looking over it all going, what am I gonna put together? There's so much to choose from. So that one's going to be, I think, my biggest challenge. I don't know, I might find differently. But then another one that I got was the ocean front. This did not come in a bundle. This is what you see, this is what you get. And I hope to use a special watercolor technique with this to put something together with that. And then I also got our paradise palms, which reminds me a lot of Florida and where some of my friends are and that sort of thing. I'm trying to turn this in such a way so you don't get that glare, but I'm having a hard time. But anyway, this did come in a bundle. It had a die set with it, so we're going to take a closer look at that and the fun that's in there. Then my husband spied this one and he thought this was really cool. Let's set sail. And so this came with a bundle of a sailboat that was a punch. And so we are going to look into that one as well. So that's February into March are going to be all my scenery type pictures, and I'm looking forward to doing those. That'll be a lot of fun, and it will allow us to make some real summery looking cards, or retirement cards, birthday cards. There's a lot of things that you can do with those. So anyway, I'm looking forward to doing those with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you have any questions, contact me on creatingcards@outlook.com. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and I look forward to hearing from you. We'll see you on Simple Sunday.